one day I was tired, and I got on this bus. I sat right behind the driver, was holding onto the pole. I was just sitting there, and I was in my world, and somebody said, were you planning what you were having for dinner or what? I said, I have no idea what I was thinking of. And all of a sudden, I hear this commotion. And all of a sudden, I saw this big driver get up out of his seat. He turns around and says, you better let me have that seat. And he shouted, and I kind of woke up, and something else was said, and I said, oh, she can have my seat. And when I did that, this tall, fair-skinned man said, don't you dare move. And he put his knees into mine, and I sat down. I just want you to know, in those days, white women and black women were treated the same. Men control the world. And I saw something today with a sign on a lady's head that says, women are in charge of the world today. Something to that effect. But it's different today. It was not that way in the picture. So, the bus driver says, everybody get off the bus. They call the police, Mrs. Parks. I got off the bus. I went back to the base. I don't remember whether I rode a bus or whether I ran all the way home, but I got back to the base. And on Jan's 50th birthday, all of the family flew to Denver to celebrate her birthday. And I turned around to my husband and I said, I need you to validate my memories. And he said, why? And I said, is it really true that I was on that bus? Did I really see all this? And he said, why do you ask? And I said, why did I not know about the bus boycott? There it was, right in front of me. He said, no, the base locked down and nobody knew anything that was going on. Some people probably did, but little people like us did not.
My name is Frank Smith, and I'm a great fan of Rosa Parks, and this is the place where she spent the last 10 years of her life. And so today, we're here today to celebrate her life. She started out as just an ordinary person on her way to work. She was a domestic in Montgomery, Alabama, on her way to work, and she got sick and tired of really people telling her to move on this bus. Everywhere she sat, they told her she had to move, had to get up, let some white person have her seat. So one day, she just, the spirit moved her, and she said, I'm not moving anymore. And so the boycott, Montgomery bus boycott started, and really brought this attention to America, that black people had no rights, that white people were bound to respect, and this had to change. And somebody had to start it. She started it. And not only did she ignite that fire in Montgomery, but she ignited that fire in the civil rights movement all across the country. It inspired me as a young Morehouse College student to start the civil rights movement in Atlanta, picketing, marching, and eventually to go to Mississippi with a group called SNCC, the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. So her life is important not only because she stood up there in Montgomery at that time, but it's important because she inspired a generation of young people to help change America.
We hosted this prayer breakfast for Mrs. Rosa Parks because she lived with me for 10 years. Today is the anniversary of her passing. We're celebrating her life. And if you come here, you go to 51stepstofreedom.org. You can download a free ticket to come and see her out front. She's an icon. She's an amazing lady, but she never did anything for herself. It was always serving other people.